Emeka, have you ever seen a snake shed its skin? Chinedu asks his 18-year-old son sit beside him. The way it leaves behind something that looks so pure, so empty, as if it was never dangerous at all. Some people are like that, shedding layers for us to see only what they want. They walk among us, smiling and gentle, while hiding something vile just beneath. And it's frightening how easily they blend in, how they say just the right words to make us feel safe, and then strike when we least expect it. I just remembered this story. Years ago, in our small village, a young pastor arrived. His name was Obina, and he came in with his wife, Amoka, and 2 little children. He was a powerful speaker, passionate about God's word, and always had a way of making everyone feel like he could see into their souls. You will always find Pastor Obina preaching in a crowded village church. His voice rings through the room, filled with fire and conviction. He always says we must live pure lives, free from sin. Remember, God sees everything. The congregation nods, fully captivated by his words. Chief Ikena, the wealthiest man in the village, sits proudly with his daughter, Edeora, in the front row. She listens intently, inspired by the pastor's message. People trusted Pastor Obina completely. He became a leader, a friend, and even a father figure. Families invited him into their homes, asking for prayers and advice. They believed he was a man of God, above any earthly temptation. We see scenes of Pastor Obina visiting different homes, offering prayers, holding hands with elderly women, playing with children, and giving advice to couples. The villagers felt safe around him, completely unaware of what lay beneath. One Sunday after service, Pastor Obina approaches Edeora, Chief Ikena's 17-year-old daughter. Edeora is kind-hearted, respectful, and devout. Pastor Obina told Edeora how she had such a pure spirit and how he could see her do great things in God's kingdom. Perhaps you'd like to start private counseling sessions with me. I'd like to help you grow, said Pastor Obina. Edeora, flattered and trusting, nods, seeing this as an honor. Now, Edeora was young, innocent, and saw Pastor Obina as a holy guide. She felt special to be chosen, not realizing the danger that awaited her. The first few sessions seem innocent enough, with Pastor Obina praying and reading Bible verses. But soon, he begins to make her feel isolated, subtly manipulating her. One evening, after a midweek service, he tells her that she shouldn't discuss their sessions with anyone. Pastor Obina told Edeora in a low voice that their sessions were private and should be between her, him, and God. Talking about it might ruin the blessings God has in store for you, he said. Edeora nods, feeling confused but trusting him. Slowly, his words become more controlling. He warned her not to tell anyone, making her believe that sharing their sacred discussions would bring misfortune. Poor girl, she didn't know he was pulling her into his trap. Weeks pass, and Edeora's behavior changes. She becomes quieter, often lost in thought, and seems anxious. Her best friend, Mike, a carefree and playful young man, notices her change and tries to talk to her. Edeora, are you okay? Mike asked. You don't look happy these days, he added. But Edeora avoids his questions, too scared to confide in him. She feels trapped by Pastor Obina's threats. Meanwhile, the villagers notice Mike and Edeora spending time together, and rumors start to spread, some accusing Mike of being a bad influence on her. People noticed her sadness but thought it was because of Mike's bad influence. They couldn't have imagined the true reason. One day, Edeora finds herself feeling unwell. She's horrified to discover she's pregnant. Desperate, she seeks out Pastor Obina, pleading for guidance. After telling him about the situation, Pastor Obina, realizing the consequences, tells her to remain silent. You must not tell anyone, he said sternly. If people find out, they'll blame you and your family. Stay quiet, and God will find a way to forgive you, he said. Edeora, scared and confused, agrees, not knowing what else to do. In her fear, Edeora kept silent. But secrets like this can't stay hidden forever. Weeks later, Edeora's pregnancy becomes obvious. Chief Ikena, devastated and furious, confronts Mike, accusing him of ruining his daughter. Mike is shocked, swearing he had nothing to do with it, but no one believes him. He becomes the scapegoat, and the villagers gossip about his recklessness. But Eudora, unable to see her friend suffer, finally breaks down. It wasn't Mike. It was Pastor Obinna, Eudora said while sobbing. The room falls silent as the shocking truth sinks in. Chief Ikenna stares at his daughter, struggling to believe what he's hearing. At that moment, the village saw Pastor Obinna's true face. The man they trusted, the one who preached purity, was nothing more than a wolf in sheep's clothing. The villagers are outraged. Pastor Obinna is confronted in front of the entire congregation. Chief Ikenna, heartbroken and furious, demands justice. How could you betray us like this? Chief Ikenna asked Pastor Obinna, looking disappointed. You preached about purity while defiling my daughter, he shouted. Pastor Obinna tries to deny it, but the weight of the evidence is too strong. The police are called, and is arrested, his reputation destroyed. His wife, Amoka, weeps as he's taken away, unable to believe the man she thought she knew. The village watched as he was led away in disgrace. Everyone who trusted him, everyone who thought he was a man of God, now saw him for what he truly was. Chinedu looks at Emeka, his face solemn. Son, remember, not everyone who stands at the pulpit is a true servant of God. Be careful who you trust. Sometimes, the people who preach the loudest are the ones hiding the darkest secrets. Emeka nods slowly, taking in his father's words. The story leaves a chill in the evening air as father and son sit in silence, both deep in thought.